Hey guys, welcome back to another Christmas video. Today, I want to try with you this gingerbread house kit I bought. I got this kit in a website called Holler for only $4. It sells out really fast in there, so in case you can't get it there, it's also available on Amazon. I will put both links down below for you. This is my very first time trying to make a gingerbread house, so let's cross our fingers and hope it turns out okay. And if not, well, we will have learned from my mistakes together. Okay, so when you open the kit, you get a little instructions book. The first thing is the introduction, which tells you everything that comes in the kit along with images on how it looks on the actual gingerbread house pieces. On the next page is a gingerbread dough recipe and a royal icing recipe, which I am going to try in this video. And on the last page, it gives you assembly instructions to show you how to put the gingerbread house together. The first piece is the front and back cutter and stamp. On one side, there's a cutter, and on the other side, there's a stamp. On the stamping side, it has a door, windows, and little Christmas lights along the top. Next, we have the wall and chimney cutter and stamp. On one side, again, we have the cutter for the walls, and on the other side, we have the stamping. It comes with a snowman, a Christmas tree, and a present. The other four little pieces are for the chimney, and on the other side we have the stamping for the bricks. For the last cutter piece, we have the roof and gingerbread people cutter and stamp. And again, just like the other two, on one side there's a cutter, and on the other side it comes with stamping details. Next, we move on to the roller and detail stamp. The roller comes with two rolling stamps. This one that says ho ho ho, and the other one with a wavy pattern. Lastly, at the end of the roller, there are two more stamps. This one with reindeer tracks, and the second one is a snowflake. To make the gingerbread dough, you will need 2 cups of flour, half a cup of unsalted butter at room temperature, 1 egg yolk, a 1/3 cup of light brown sugar, a 1/3 cup of molasses, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoons of salt. Start by placing the brown sugar, molasses, cinnamon, and ginger in a small saucepan over medium-low heat until it comes to a boil. When the mixture has come to a boil, remove it from the heat and pour it in a large bowl. Then, mix in the butter 2 to 3 tablespoons at a time until everything is well incorporated. Mix in the salt and the baking soda. Next, mix in the egg yolk and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Lastly, mix in the flour 1 cup at a time. When the dough starts to come together, take it out of the bowl and into your counter and knead it until it comes together. One thing I noticed about this recipe was that the dough was too dry and it wouldn't really come together. It kept cracking. So to fix that issue, I added 1/4 cup of water into the dough and it ended up working really good. When the dough is nice and smooth, divide it into 2 pieces, wrap them in plastic wrap and refrigerate them for at least 2 hours. Roll out your dough on a piece of parchment paper. Use your front and back cutter to cut out the front part of the house. Then use the stamping side to add the detail. I noticed that trying to lift the piece of dough to move it to the baking sheet gave me a lot of trouble. As you're gonna see, as soon as I lift up the piece, it started cracking. So for the next pieces, I rolled my dough in smaller pieces of parchment paper. So when I cut the pieces, I could transfer them together into a baking sheet. It was way easier than trying to attempt to lift the pieces off the parchment paper. You're going to need to cut a front and back of the house, 2 walls, 2 pieces of roof, the chimney, and the 2 gingerbread people. So just go ahead and cut and stamp. You can use the stamps on any part of the house. It doesn't need to be exactly where it shows on the picture. This is where you can get creative. Bake the gingerbread house for 12 to 15 minutes at 325 degrees Fahrenheit. In the meantime, you can start making the royal icing. And for that, you will need 1.5 tablespoons of meringue powder, 2 cups of powdered sugar, and 3 tablespoons of hot water. Mix all that until it comes together. It will take about a minute. This recipe came out really dry. It was basically lumps of sugar, so I ended up adding 1 more tablespoon of water to loosen it up a little bit, and it worked out really good. When the gingerbread house comes out of the oven, let it cool completely before you start decorating. I did something really fast and basic to my gingerbread house just to show you how everything came out. And I have to say everything worked really good. The gingerbread pieces were sturdy enough and they didn't crack while baking. The royal icing worked really good as well. It held the pieces together, it wasn't too thick that you couldn't pipe it or too runny either. Overall, this was a really good kit. It was really good quality and very easy to use. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in this video. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel to watch more videos in the future. And give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Also, I have a playlist of more Christmas videos on your left, so go ahead and check it out.